During the Christmas break, I invited my sister to come help me because we were moving to a new apartment, and she came to help me. And then I was like, girl, come here and let me glam you up, guy. So I grabbed a pack of natural twist by Darling Ghana. And I decided to use it on hair. I'm using Jocelyn Glazy to lay down all the parts that I'm going to do as always, and I'm cleaning up the parts that I'm doing. I divided her hair into 3, so 1 at the top and 2 at the back. And the patterns that I did for this particular hair, I didn't do it in bricklayers. I just did it in arch. I don't know if that's the correct term, but yeah, that's how I did it. And then with the braiding, I wrapped the extension around the hair, and then I did about a box braid. I did box braid about just a few inches before I braided the twist down. So as you can see, again, I'm doing it in archy forms, in archy part sections, and the braiding, I round the hair extension by the roots, and then I do a box braid about 5 to 6 times before I wrap the darling twist onto her natural hair. Then I twist it over, and then I twist everything completely until I am exhausted with all the strands in my hands. So that's what I did for all the hair until I was able to do everything all together. Then after I was done, I used the hair mousse to to wrap around all the hair so that I tame all the flyaways that were standing on top of the strands. So I applied it on top of all the hair and every strand of hair that was in there. And then some days later, I followed it up with a facial. I started by exfoliating her face. I'm using the ordinary salicylic acid mask here. She also had an oily skin, so that's what I used. And then after that, she washed it off, and I'm going to shave her face. So I'm using Palmer's body oil to lubricate her face so that the blade will be able to glide smoothly. Like you can see, I'm using the long blade to shave her face so that the makeup really comes out nice. And I'm using Palmer's Skin Success toner to remove the excess oil and all the excess hair that is on her face from the residues from the shaving. And then I moisturized her face with Palmer's face cream for the night, the Palmer's Anti-Dax face cream. And then when I was done, I continued it with a makeup. So this is her before and after. And then I'm using translucent setting powder to set her T-zones where she normally sweats the most, and when she normally have the oil the most. And then I'm using the spoolie to brush her eyebrows upwards, and I'm using a black pencil here to draw her eyebrows. For eyebrows, you can use like dark pencil or black pencil, but I would say that experiment with both pencils and see which one would really suit your interest, or like the one which will look good for you. I used a black pencil for her in her case. And then when I was done, I did the same thing for her other eyebrows as well, and I went according to the shape of her eyebrows, and then I shaped it a little bit. And then when I was done, I filled in and also drew some strokes at the front to give it a natural look. I don't know why this girl is laughing. She was laughing all the time. So I didn't have her foundation shade, so I mixed my darkest shade of foundation and darkest shade of the concealer place that I have, the concealer palette that I had. I mixed it together to get a shade that's like matches her color. So that's what I used for both her upper brow and her lower brows. And then I used a lighter concealer to continue with the brow at the end part so that it doesn't become too harsh when I am done with the makeup. So I went ahead to blend, and it kind of sat perfectly. I'm glad that it came out nice. It was actually matching her color. Some way, somehow, it worked together, and I was so excited. so you can clearly tell from the difference on her forehead. You can see, but everything will come together in the end. And then with her eyeshadow, I decided to do a little bit of color matching with the dress she's wearing, and I gave her a little shimmer. Then I went ahead to do her eye wing. She said she wanted a long eye wing, so I gave it to her. Okay, exactly what she wanted. So I did her eye wing, and you can clearly see that I started from the bottom. I don't do a detailed makeup tutorial here, especially on my face, so let me know, you guys, if you want me to do a detailed tutorial on my face on YouTube, please let me know. But on TikTok, I've been doing it all the time and people love it, so let me know and I'll gladly do detailed tutorial makeup on YouTube. Now when I was done, I used the same concealer in a lighter shade to kind of highlight the eye wing so that it will give her that accentuated look. Okay, and then I used the residues to do the chin and her forehead, and then I snatched her nose with the darkest shade of the eyeshadow palette that I had. I'm using Beckham Ageless eyeshadow palette, and then I use the red lipstick as her blush. The blush I have is not that bright to brighten her face enough, and then I use the same setting powder as I used before to set her face, to give her that sculptural look. Okay, and I also set her under eyes as well, and then I used a big brush to wipe off the setting powder and the setting powder at her chin and then under her eyes, and then I use the residues on top of her in between her eyebrows, and then I use the highlighter on top of her nose and then at the tip of her nose, and then I outlined her lips for a good lip look. I wasn't really going for a harsh look because she just wanted something very, very nude. So I tried my best to actually use a concealer to brighten her lips a little bit so that it will come out nice. And then I used the same shade, the same burgundy shade on her eyelids, under her eyes, and this is the final look, guys. I think it came out pretty well, even though I didn't have a color match, especially with the foundation. I'm glad that something worked out. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you are doing well and the new year has been good so far. Don't be too harsh on yourself. Take care of yourself and approach your goals bit by bit this year, and you shall definitely achieve them. Please don't forget to give me a like if you like this video, and I'm going to see you in my next video. Do subscribe also if you haven't already. My name is Juliana Amoateng. I do beauty tutorials such as hair, makeup, nails, skincare, and general beauty stuff. I love you. I'll see you. Bye.